Imagine this. You're standing in front of a bakery counter filled with loaves of every shape, color, and flavor. Right before your eyes are dozens of choices, and just one small decision in this moment could quietly add or take away years from your life. It may sound like an exaggeration, but science has proven this to be true. In 2023, a groundbreaking study from Harvard Medical School tracked more than 93,000 adults over the age of 60 for 2 decades, and the findings caught the attention of the entire medical community. Those who chose the right type of bread had a 43% lower risk of heart disease and lived an average of 7 years longer than those who consistently made the wrong choices. What's fascinating is that scientists discovered the human body responds to bread completely differently after age 60 compared to younger years. Digestive enzyme levels drop by around 40%, metabolism slows down, and the ability to regulate blood sugar becomes far more fragile. This means that breads once harmless, or even beneficial, at age 40 can now quietly damage your arteries, increase inflammation, and accelerate aging at the cellular level. In today's video, we'll explore the 4 types of bread you should eat after age 60 and the 4 you should avoid at all costs. And here's the twist: the bread that tops the must-eat list is probably not what you're thinking. A 2024 study revealed that eating just 2 slices of this bread daily could reduce arthritis pain by up to 47% and improve memory by 31% in adults over 65. Remarkably, this bread is still available in most supermarkets right now, yet most people completely overlook it. Before we begin, please share in the comments where you're watching from, your age, and your favorite type of bread. We'll read and respond to every comment with appreciation. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss other valuable content. Now, let's dive into the 4 healthiest breads for life after 60. Number 1. Sprouted grain bread. Sprouted grain bread is a living testament to the culinary wisdom of our ancestors, a method that has existed for thousands of years, where whole grains are soaked until they begin to sprout before being milled into flour. Today, modern nutritional science is only beginning to reveal why this seemingly slow preparation method makes such a profound difference to health, especially for those over the age of 60. What makes this bread stand out is not just its ingredients, but how your body receives it. When grains begin to sprout, natural enzymes break down starches and proteins into simpler forms, making them far easier to digest, an advantage for a digestive system that naturally becomes less efficient with age. A 2023 study from the UCLA Center for Human Nutrition conducted on 500 adults over the age of 65 with digestive issues produced striking results. After just 8 weeks of replacing regular bread with sprouted grain bread, 73% reported a significant reduction in bloating, abdominal discomfort, and distension. Blood analysis pointed to a key factor: an 81% decrease in phytic acid, a compound that often hinders mineral absorption and irritates the intestinal lining. Interestingly, even though it contains a similar amount of carbohydrates as regular whole wheat bread, its effect on blood sugar is dramatically different. Data from the Glycemic Index Foundation show that sprouted grain bread has a glycemic index of only 36, compared to 51 for whole wheat bread and 75 for white bread. For those monitoring blood sugar or concerned about heart health, this difference can have a major cumulative impact over time. In terms of micronutrients, sprouted grain bread functions almost like a natural multivitamin. Sprouting increases vitamin C content by up to 600%, boosts B vitamins by around 300%, and produces benzoxazinoids, anti-inflammatory compounds backed by numerous studies. A German survey of 900 adults aged 60 and over found that eating sprouted grain bread daily increased serum folate levels by 42% and improved vitamin B12 absorption by 38%. This is significant because B12 deficiency affects about 40% of older adults, leading to cognitive decline, persistent fatigue, and nerve damage. Incorporating this bread into your daily diet requires a slight shift in shopping and storage habits. Because it contains no preservatives, it stays fresh for only about 5 days at room temperature, so most stores keep it in the freezer section. The best approach is to buy several loaves, store them frozen, and take out slices only as needed. Even when toasted straight from frozen, it retains its distinct aroma and flavor. Its texture is dense and nutty, with visible whole grain kernels, quite different from the softness of white bread. A simple yet nutrient-rich breakfast idea is one slice of toasted sprouted grain bread topped with almond butter and banana slices, combining healthy fats, protein, and complex carbohydrates to keep you full and your energy steady. Trusted brands like Ezekiel 49, Silver Hills, and Alvarado Street Bakery are now widely available in health food stores and increasingly found in major supermarkets. At $4 to $6 per loaf, it may be pricier than regular bread, but considering what it delivers, you're essentially investing in a preventive medicine cleverly disguised as food. Number 2. Authentic sourdough bread. Sourdough bread is more than just a nostalgic treat from childhood for those over 60. It can be a choice that brings about tangible, positive changes in health. Made from flour, water, and a natural sourdough starter, a blend of wild yeast and beneficial bacteria, this bread is fermented slowly over time. During this process, much of the gluten and phytic acid are broken down, making it significantly easier to digest, especially for those with sensitive digestive systems or difficulty tolerating regular bread. Interestingly, slow fermentation is not just a traditional baking method. It also serves as a form of pre-processing that transforms bread into a food that actively supports gut health. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Food Microbiology found that older adults who replaced regular bread with authentic sourdough reported up to a 26% improvement in digestive comfort, including reduced bloating and more regular bowel movements. This effect comes from the living beneficial bacteria that remain in the bread, acting as prebiotics to nourish the gut microbiome, a key factor in maintaining immunity, mental clarity, and mood stability in later years. Beyond digestive health, you may also notice a meaningful impact on blood sugar control. Because the structure of starch changes during fermentation, sourdough has a lower glycemic index compared to white bread and even whole wheat bread. Research from the University of Toronto found that older adults who ate sourdough for breakfast had post-meal blood sugar levels that rose only 45% as much as those who ate regular bread. For people in the pre-diabetic stage or living with type 2 diabetes, a condition affecting nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60, this difference can help stabilize blood sugar levels and reduce strain on the pancreas. The fermentation process also helps preserve more B vitamins and minerals, such as magnesium, which are critical for muscle and nerve function in older adults. This is an important point not to overlook, as magnesium deficiency can disrupt sleep, affect heart rhythm, and impair daily mobility. When buying sourdough, look for loaves made from whole grains and a genuine sourdough starter. Avoid those labeled only with sourdough flavor or made with commercial yeast. A true sourdough loaf will have a deep brown, crisp crust, a moist, chewy interior with plenty of air pockets, and a naturally mild tang. You can enjoy 2 slices a day paired with butter and hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, or alongside soup for lunch. If you're transitioning from softer breads, the taste and texture may feel unfamiliar at first, but within a few days, both your palate and digestive system will adjust and start reaping the benefits. If you have the time, you can even try making it at home. Sourdough is one of the easiest breads to bake, offering a rewarding experience and filling your kitchen with a warm, inviting aroma. For older adults, it's more than just a food, it's a beautiful blend of tradition, nutritional science, and the joy of living well each day. If you find this sharing helpful, kindly comment with the number 2 below. That's a simple way for me to know that you are still interested and accompanying me on this journey toward living healthier and improving your quality of life each day. Number 3. Rye bread. Rye bread has long been a traditional food in many Northern European countries, and there is solid scientific reasoning behind why it is so highly valued, especially for those over the age of 60. It is not just food, it is a powerful nutritional tool that helps protect the heart, stabilize blood sugar, and support overall health. The unique benefit of rye lies in its naturally high content of soluble fiber, most notably arabinoxolin. This type of fiber acts like a cholesterol trap in the gut, helping carry cholesterol out of the body instead of allowing it to be reabsorbed into the bloodstream. According to a clinical study conducted in Finland and published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2020, adults over 65 who ate 2 slices of whole grain rye bread daily reduced their LDL cholesterol by 16% in just 3 months. In addition, they reported feeling fuller for longer and having more energy to sustain daily activities. However, the most valuable benefit of rye bread lies in how it affects blood sugar. Unlike white bread made from refined wheat, which causes a rapid spike and then crash in blood, glucose rye bread is digested much more slowly. This leads to a gradual rise in blood sugar, which remains stable for hours. As a result, it reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and serious complications such as nerve damage, vision loss, or kidney disease. In the same study, those who ate rye bread also had 22% lower fasting insulin levels, a positive sign for metabolic health. Since high insulin levels are often linked to chronic inflammation and the accumulation of belly fat, incorporating rye bread into the diet can help maintain a healthy weight and waistline even as metabolism slows with age. When buying rye bread, look for one where the main ingredient is whole grain rye flour or whole rye kernels. Avoid light-colored, soft loaves that are mostly made from white flour with added caramel coloring. They provide little to no comparable benefit. Authentic rye bread is typically dense, darker in color, and has a distinct mild tang. It pairs perfectly for sandwiches with smoked salmon or turkey, toasted with strong cheeses, or served alongside a warm bowl of soup for dinner. In addition to providing sustained energy, rye bread is also renowned for supporting digestion thanks to its slow fermenting fiber. Many older adults find that switching to rye bread helps them maintain more regular bowel movements, an important factor since constipation tends to become more common with age. If you are looking for a food that is both delicious and supportive of long-term health, rye bread truly deserves a permanent place on your family's table. Number 4. 100% whole grain seed bread. For your health after age 60, this is truly the shining star of the bread world, a choice that can help extend your lifespan and improve your quality of life. Authentic 100% whole grain seed bread is not simply a loaf made from whole grain flour. It often contains added pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, and sesame, creating a harmonious nutritional ensemble where each component supports the others like a symphony orchestra in which every instrument plays a vital role. A large-scale 2024 study at the Copenhagen Cardiovascular Research Center followed more than 18,000 adults over 60 for 15 years. The results caught the attention of many experts. Those who ate 100% whole grain seed bread daily had a 47% lower risk of death from all causes compared to those who ate white bread. Their average lifespan was about 4.7 years longer, and their quality of life scores were significantly higher. Scientists identified 37 bioactive compounds in this bread that work together to reduce inflammation, protect DNA from damage, and optimize the cellular energy production process. So, what makes this bread so highly valued? First, fiber acts as a silent cleaner in the digestive tract, helping remove toxins, stabilize blood sugar, and nourish the gut microbiome, which is key to both your immune system and your mood. The bran and germ of the grain contain vitamin B6 to support brain function, magnesium for muscle health, and selenium to help maintain a strong immune system as you age. In addition, antioxidants such as lignans and ferulic acid in whole grains help calm chronic inflammation, thereby lowering the risk of arthritis, memory decline, and even certain types of cancer. Another often overlooked but important factor: whole grain bread digests more slowly, helping you maintain a steady energy supply and avoid the sudden fatigue that can follow eating white or sweet bread. This is especially beneficial for older adults whose ability to regulate blood sugar is no longer as flexible as it was in youth. When buying, make sure the label clearly says 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat rather than just wheat bread, which can still be mostly refined flour. The first ingredient should be whole grain flour, not enriched wheat flour or multigrain, as those terms can sometimes be marketing tactics that mask a high proportion of white flour. As for how to enjoy it, you can toast slices for breakfast, make sandwiches, or tear them into chunks to toss into a hearty salad. Some people use it to make French toast or bread pudding, turning dessert into a more nutritious treat. To boost satiety and better control blood sugar, pair it with a healthy source of protein and fat, such as eggs, nut butter, or soy butter. You can also try breads made from other whole grains, such as spelt, barley, or millet to diversify your nutrient intake. Science has made it clear. Just one simple change in your bread choice at age 60 or 70 can bring wide-reaching benefits to your heart, brain, and bones not only today, but for many years to come. And if you're still with me at this point, please leave a comment with the number 4 below, not just for counting, but so I know that you're genuinely interested in your own health and you're truly walking this journey of living healthy, informed, and taking responsibility for your body with me. These are the 4 types of bread that can quietly erode your health, especially once you've passed the age of 60. And quite possibly, right now, they're sitting quietly somewhere in your kitchen without you even realizing it. Number 1. White bread. White bread is a familiar sight at the table for many families, especially for those who grew up in the United States. However, behind its convenience and soft texture lies a silent saboteur of health, particularly once you're past the age of 60. White bread is made from wheat flour that has been completely stripped of its bran and germ, the parts richest in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is essentially a refined starch, so easy to digest that it causes your blood sugar to spike almost instantly. And, as is often the case, that sudden spike is quickly followed by a crash, leaving you feeling tired, sluggish, and craving more food. A 2022 study published in Diabetes Care found that older adults who ate white bread daily had a 46% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, as well as a 33% faster decline in memory over just 5 years. Alarmingly, the problem doesn't stop there. The lack of fiber forces your digestive system to work harder, increasing the likelihood of constipation or irregular bowel movements. Without the nourishment of beneficial gut bacteria, your intestines lose immune strength and are more prone to chronic inflammation, one of the most dangerous health risks in later life. What's more, the so-called enriched wheat flour, often used in white bread, is simply refined flour with a few synthetic vitamins added back after milling. This means your body is still missing out on dozens of natural micronutrients that whole grains would normally provide. Regular consumption of white bread can also encourage fat buildup around the abdominal area, a marker directly linked to higher risks of stroke and heart failure in older adults. If you enjoy the flavor and soft texture of white bread, that doesn't mean you have to cut it out completely. Treat it as an occasional indulgence rather than a daily habit. Instead, opt for soft whole grain or sourdough bread to keep the pleasant eating experience while gaining real nutritional benefits. When you do eat white bread, pair it with a source of protein and fiber such as tuna, hummus, or boiled eggs. This can help slow sugar absorption and reduce those sharp blood sugar spikes. Science is clear. White bread is one of the least healthy choices for an aging body. Simply reducing how often you eat it can bring noticeable improvements in your energy, memory, and even your weight. Number 2. Sweet bread and pastries. You can easily picture a morning with a soft cinnamon roll, a buttery Danish pastry, or a fluffy waffle filling the air with aroma beside a steaming cup of coffee. For many, that's a small joy to start the day. But for the body after age 60, these sweet breads and pastries are more like a ticking time bomb for health. just waiting to go off over time. Beneath their tempting exterior is often a combination of refined flour, refined sugar, and, in many cases, low-quality oils. Once inside your body, this mixture sends your blood sugar soaring within minutes, only to crash soon after, leaving you fatigued, irritable, and craving even more food. Geriatric nutrition experts have pointed out that such sharp blood sugar fluctuations are especially dangerous in older adults, as the body's ability to regulate insulin declines with age. A 2023 meta-analysis published in The Lancet found that people over 60 who consumed sweetbreads or pastries at least 4 times per week had a 44% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome. This cluster of dangerous conditions includes high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and abnormal blood lipids, all of which pave the way for serious events like heart attacks and stroke. But their harm doesn't stop at the cardiovascular system. Multiple independent studies have found that high sugar intake is also linked to accelerated skin aging, increased joint pain, and a higher risk of depression and anxiety in older adults. When refined sugar enters the bloodstream, the body responds by releasing more insulin, and this sudden spike triggers a widespread inflammatory reaction throughout the body. This inflammation not only worsens arthritis symptoms, but also slows healing after injury and accelerates muscle loss. Importantly, the body's ability to process large amounts of sugar in later years is much lower than in youth, meaning each pastry leaves a more pronounced negative impact. So, what's the solution for enjoying sweetness without sacrificing health? You can make healthier versions right at home. Use mashed ripe bananas, unsweetened applesauce, or a touch of pure honey instead of refined sugar, and opt for whole grain flour to retain fiber and micronutrients. Store-bought pastries should be saved for truly special occasions, not turned into a daily habit. Additionally, when enjoying something sweet, pair it with a protein source like hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, or a handful of nuts to slow sugar absorption and reduce its inflammatory impact. And if you find yourself constantly craving sweets, it may be a sign your body is lacking fiber, protein, or simply needs more sleep, not necessarily another donut. Don't let a sweet tooth quietly steal away your health during the golden years of life. And if you are still watching up to this point, I would like to invite you to leave the number 2 in the comments. This will let me know that you have received valuable insights and found them helpful. Number 3. Potato bread. Many people, when they hear potato bread, often assume it's a healthy choice, perhaps even beneficial, since potatoes are a natural food and can be part of a balanced diet. But in reality, once potatoes are incorporated into industrial bread recipes, they become a cleverly disguised starch bomb. Unlike eating whole potatoes, which provide fiber, vitamins, and minerals, commercial potato bread often strips away almost all these beneficial components, leaving primarily fast-digesting starch. In mass production, most potato bread is made from refined white flour, mashed potatoes or potato starch, along with added sugar, oil, or butter, to create a soft texture and appealing flavor. This combination makes the bread extremely quick to digest, causing blood sugar to spike sharply and crash rapidly, sometimes even faster than many regular breads. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that among adults over 60, eating potato bread 3 or more times per week increased the risk of insulin resistance by 37%, an alarming first step toward type 2 diabetes. What's more, many brands quietly add extra sugar to improve color and texture, some containing as much as 2 or 3 teaspoons of sugar in just one slice. For older adults, that amount doesn't just raise blood sugar, it also contributes to the silent activation of chronic inflammation in the body. When inflammation becomes a constant state, it can drive a host of problems from persistent joint pain and weakened immunity to increased visceral fat and metabolic disorders. Even more concerning, this reaction often goes unnoticed until a person experiences significant declines in health. Additionally, potato bread is often lacking in essential minerals like magnesium and potassium, which are crucial for regulating blood pressure, maintaining a steady heartbeat, and supporting muscle function in aging bodies. Eating large amounts of refined starch with little mineral content can gradually weaken muscles, reduce mobility, and even impair balance. I've met many patients over 65 who told me that after just a few months of regularly eating potato bread, they noticed they became more easily fatigued, craved sweets more often, and no longer had stable energy levels. If you enjoy the soft texture of potato bread, a better option is to choose whole grain varieties or make it at home using fresh potatoes and whole wheat flour to retain the fiber and minerals. Treat potato bread as a special occasion food rather than a daily staple. After eating it, pay attention to your body. If you feel tired quickly, experience ongoing cravings, or have digestive discomfort, those are clear signs that your body may do better with slower digesting grains that are high in fiber and provide more stable nutrition. In your everyday diet, prioritize breads that have been scientifically proven to support healthy blood sugar and cardiovascular health. Number 4. Gluten-free white bread made from starch flours. You may have seen them on supermarket shelves, neatly packaged with bold gluten-free labels, giving the impression that they're a healthier choice. But for people over 60, gluten-free white bread made from starch flours, such as white rice flour, potato starch, or tapioca starch, can pose more problems than you might think. Gluten-free does not automatically mean healthy. In reality, many of these breads are low in fiber, lacking in nutrients, and have an even higher glycemic index than regular white bread. Recent medical research, including a 2022 report in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that older adults who ate gluten-free white bread daily for 6 months had average blood glucose levels more than 50% higher and LDL cholesterol levels more than 20% higher compared to those who ate whole grain bread. These figures are far from trivial when considering the risks of heart disease and diabetes in later life. The problem lies in how they're made. White rice flour, tapioca starch, potato starch, and sometimes cornstarch are combined with thickeners or emulsifiers to create a soft, airy texture. These ingredients are digested extremely quickly, causing blood sugar to spike and then crash, leading to fatigue, hunger, and potential strain on the pancreas. On top of that, most of the natural nutrients, vitamins, and fiber are stripped away during processing, which can sap your energy, weaken your immune system, and impair digestive health. In the same study, some participants even reported joint pain, poor sleep, and heightened anxiety after just a few weeks of regular consumption. If you must avoid gluten for medical reasons, look for gluten-free breads made from whole grain brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, or millet. These options are richer in fiber, protein, and minerals, helping to stabilize blood sugar and support long-term health. Always read the ingredient list carefully before buying. If the first ingredients are starches or unrecognizable flours that you can barely pronounce, it's best to put the package back on the shelf. And for most people who have no issues with gluten, don't let the gluten-free label trick you into thinking you're eating healthier. Sometimes it's just an illusion and maybe one of the most misleading types of bread in the store. If you've made it this far, I want to offer my sincere congratulations. Many people go their entire lives without ever stopping to think twice about the bread they eat every day. But now you have a science-backed foundation to help you make smarter choices that can have a profound impact on your health at age 60, 70, and beyond. Sometimes, just one small change in your eating habits can lead to a major difference in your energy levels, mobility, and mental sharpness. Now, I'd love to hear from your own experience. Which type of bread do you eat most often right now? And after watching this content, are you interested in trying or switching to another kind? Every personal story or insight you share could inspire others in the community. Please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I read and value every single contribution. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video in its entirety.